Hello, I'm Alan Murphy. I'm your instructor for Math 118 this semester. And in this video, I'd like to introduce you to some of the features of the course and help you get off to a good start here in the first week. So stay tuned as I run through the highlights. As you probably know, the university is transitioning from Blackboard to Canvas. And so this semester, I will be using Canvas as the launch point for our course. Now, when you come into Canvas, you'll notice that you're greeted with this welcome announcement, and then there are basically 5 important links here. I've linked to the course syllabus, the course calendar, an assignment summary and checklist, our Math 118 course content, and then a link to enhanced WebAssign. I've even indicated our class key for WebAssign. You'll need that to get started, to get connected to our course through WebAssign. Enhanced WebAssign is a requirement for the course, so that's the purchase, and it does include a virtual textbook. So you are not required to purchase that hardcover textbook, but you will need WebAssign to complete all the assignments and exams and quizzes that are associated with the course. One of those important links in Canvas is to our course calendar. This particular document shows the due date, let's access that, shows the due date for every assignment, exam, discussion forum, or quiz that we have throughout the semester. You can see here that the winter 2022 due dates are listed, and in that first week after class begins, we have our orientation assignments due. That's basically to make sure you've read through the syllabus, and are familiar with how to navigate the course. And then toward the end of the week here on Saturday, we have our first assignment due, which is our first math assignment, and then a discussion forum. That one's going to be pretty straightforward. You're just going to introduce yourself. So nothing very difficult this week, but we do have things that are due quickly. To help you keep up with or keep track of completing your assignments, I've also provided an assignment summary and checklist, and that's linked on Canvas as well. And here you can see I've displayed the assignment summary and checklist document, and again, this is for winter 2022. You can see the due dates, and basically as you're completing these, just check them off or write your score in so that you know that those are done, and by the end of the semester you'll have a pretty good idea of what your grade is. This is just for you to keep track of what's been completed. Now, all of this is also kept track of in WebAssign. So this is not your official document. This is just for you to kind of keep your own tally of what you've completed. Now, if you've looked at that course calendar or that assignment checklist, you'll realize that there is a lot of stuff to get done during the semester. Basically, there's an assignment due every week. Every other week, there's either a quiz or a discussion forum, and then there are also 3 exams and a final exam staggered throughout the semester. That is a lot to keep up with, and so I've built in 6 one-week extension for assignments and quizzes for you to make use of throughout the semester. You do not need to give me a reason. I know stuff happens. It happens to me as well, and sometimes you need a week cushion. So the way you submit those requests for the extensions is through WebAssign. And again, you just say, I need an extension, and I will grant that for you. But this will allow us to have some flexibility throughout the semester and still stay on track. Arguably, the most important link that you can access through Canvas is this course content link. When you, when you click that link, you're going to be taken to this course content web page. And as you scroll down, basically, that's not scrolling. Let's access the page again here. Sorry about that. As you scroll down, you'll notice, first of all, as you access these pages, in the yellow at the top is a table of contents of the important items that are included in this page. So in this case, we've got something labeled important information, and you'll see there that's my faculty contact, and then a detailed course information page, which I'll show you in a second. And then the second link is course organization, which just describes how the course is organized. And finally, the weekly content links. Those are the important links. Let me quickly show you the faculty contact information and then the Math 118 course information. So if you ever need to get a hold of me, you can click here and all the details of my contact information are here. There's the old picture of me with the long hair. And then all the information, all the details about getting a hold of me. The course information, I'm not going to spend a lot of time in the video here, but I will just show you quickly what this includes, if I can access this thing. There we go. Course information. Big table of contents for this one because there's a lot of stuff listed, but essentially everything you need to know in pretty specific detail is listed here. This is sort of a companion to our course syllabus. And so please take time to read through this so that you understand how the course is set up. In particular, I really think it's important for you to read this time commitment section. This is a 4-credit course, which is going to probably require 9 hours a week of your attention in order to be successful. So keep that in mind as you're balancing your schedule for the weeks. Now, let's talk a little bit about how the course is organized. The course is organized by weeks, and for the purposes of this course, a week is from Sunday to Saturday. So basically like a standard calendar is designed. What I've made is a folder for each week. You can see here that I have all 15 weeks plus the 16th week, which is our final exam week. And as we progress through the weeks, I'd like to make sure that you come to Canvas, click the course content link, and then access the folder for whatever week we're on. For example, as classes are beginning here this week, we need to access week 1. Each week folder is organized as follows. I've got a table of contents at the top in yellow, which sort of outlines the information that's included. Each week we'll have an overview where I kind of hit the highlights for the concepts that we're going to cover. We'll also have graded items for the week. This first week we really have a lot of little small items that are due. Most of those are the orientation assignments. Then we do have one math assignment. So you've got a lot to do in the next 4 days here, but they're quick and they're easy to knock off. Start sliding that thing again. This video is going downhill. All right, let's see if I can keep scrolling here. At some point, you'll scroll down and you'll get to the lessons. So each lesson that is covered during a particular week will have its own folder. And in this case, we have 2 folders that we're concerned with. The first is the online orientation assignments. So if you click on this folder, you'll see that we have a little discussion about whether or not you should actually take an online course. I think if you've made it this far, you probably are in the right place. But if this is your first online course, I really recommend that you read through these articles just to get an idea of what the expectations will be. And in that first discussion forum, I'm going to ask that students who've taken online classes before, please give their little pieces of advice to those of us that are just trying it for the first time. You're going to have to get set up with Enhanced WebAssign. There's a link here. You'll use that class key code that was typed out in Canvas to get access. Even if you're not going to pay for the Enhanced WebAssign access at this time, you should sign in and use the class key code. You get 2 weeks, a trial period, where you can keep working until you make your payment. And at the end of the 2 weeks, you'll have to go ahead and finalize that transaction. But you get a 14-day trial so that you can keep doing your work. We have a quick little test of online learning success. And all I ask that you do is go through and answer the questions and hit submit. It'll give you a report, and then you just copy and paste the report into the submission. And that assignment is one of the only ones that you actually submit through Canvas. The rest of our assignments, quizzes, and exams you submit right through WebAssign. And then finally, we have the other 2 introduction assignments, which are located on WebAssign, Intro to WebAssign and the syllabus quiz. Back in our lesson folder, if you look at lesson 1.1, I just want to take a brief little moment here to show you what's available here. So each time we have a book lesson, as I said, I give an overview, and then there will be an assigned reading where I want you to go into the textbook. By the way, WebAssign provides you an online version of the textbook, so you don't even have to buy the hardcover book, which is expensive. You can use the textbook that's provided in WebAssign, and everything that we need is there. You're going to look through pages 3 through 13, read over the examples there, and I've listed sort of the highlights of the content that we're going to cover, rationalizing the denominator and so on. And then in addition to the reading, I always try to provide some video tutorials. Some of them I have prepared, and some of them are provided either by Cengage or by other people around the internet. If you click on Lesson 1.1 videos, you'll see that I have a list of video tutorials here. This first one is not made by me, but it's a good example of how to factor a polynomial. And then I have 2 videos that I've prepared. And then eventually, when you scroll down toward the end of this, you get to the Cengage videos. These are the videos that are provided by WebAssign. Now, the way this is set up is I give you this little paragraph. It outlines the topics that are covered, and then it says first thing you got to do is click this link. So if you click the link, it's going to take you to the video page. There'll be one video displayed. You'll see this one's called Factoring 1. If you want to access the other videos in this lesson, down here underneath section 1.1, it's not letting me draw. Down here where it says Abramson videos and Mosley videos, if you click those, it expands and provides you a whole list of videos. So if you're having trouble with a particular topic, you can access these videos. For instance, properties of exponents. If you want to see that video, you can click on that and it pops up. Okay, so please take advantage of these video tutorials. Once you've covered the content, you've done the reading, you've watched the videos, that's when you go to WebAssign and you do the assignment here. Actually, I always provide a list of practice exercises right from the textbook. So you can see here that I have a list of exercises, and I've also provided the solutions. Let me just click on that so you can see what that looks like. Some of these are a little scraggly, but I've written out on my iPad solutions to the problems and then just linked to them here. So these are my solutions. Yeah, you don't need to get this app. It's going to tell me it wants me to get the app, but I'm not going to do it. Epic fail for the video, but I'm not going to redo it because I'm already 8 minutes in. So you have access to those practice exercises. Then, once you've done the practice exercises, please go ahead and do the assignment. You can see I've talked about it here in the writing, and you access that through WebAssign. We also have forums due every other week. So this first week we have a forum where we're just going to do introductions, and you access that right through Canvas. That should be available on day 1. I've set that one up already. Now, since this is the first go around with Canvas for this course, we'll see how the discussion forums go, and I'll probably tweak that as we go to make sure that we get the most out of those discussions. That's enough about course content. Please give that link a look. Everything you need to sort of get you ready for the math is there. I do want to take just a few brief moments to talk about WebAssign. As you can see here, I've brought up the student page for WebAssign for our course. As the semester begins, you'll see our assignments start to populate. Your assignments are available from the beginning of class, from the beginning of the semester. So all of the assignments, and we have 15 of them, all of the assignments are available for you to work on anytime you want. There are no time restrictions on those. Quizzes become available 5 days before their due date. And then exams become available 4 days before their due date. So those are time sensitive, but the assignments are always open for you to work on. We'll talk more about the assignments in a second, but I just wanted to show you how WebAssign is set up once you get the class key entered in on their website. Speaking of WebAssign, I do want to talk about another important feature as I described to you how the quizzes and assignments are going to work. So every time we have an assignment, like the first one due this first Saturday, A1, you get 4 attempts on each problem. So you get 4 tries to get that thing right before your attempts are used up. And typically what I like students to do is try the problem once or twice, submit your answers, and if you have gotten 2 wrong answers on the same problem, for instance, if you were having trouble finding the domain of the square root of 5 minus x, and you submitted your answer twice and got wrong answers both times, at that point, I'd like you to access the feature called Ask Your Teacher over here on the right side. When you click Ask Your Teacher, a little box pop up, like you can see here, right? And you get to type in a question to me. You can say something like, hey, I tried this problem twice and I'm still not getting the right answer. Here's what I entered. What do you think I should try? And then what I can do is I can respond to you with some hints. If I need more information, I might ask you to send me a picture of the work that you've tried so I can figure out where it went wrong. Or if I can tell right away what you need to do to fix it, I'll give you some hints. You still have 2 more attempts before that happens, right? If you have 4 attempts, you try 2 on your own, then you ask for help, then you and I together get 2 tries to see if we can get it done before the questions close to you. So my goal on the assignments is for everybody to get 20 out of 20 every week, and I will happily help you do that. But I can only do it if you ask for help before you've done the 4 submissions. So try a problem once or twice. If you're stuck, use Ask Your Teacher, and I will try and give you some hints. There's no penalty for those 2nd, 3rd, and 4th attempts on those problems for the assignments. It's a slightly different story with quizzes. With quizzes, you only get 3 attempts, and after the first attempt, the 2nd and 3rd attempts are assigned a penalty, a reduction in the points. So it's better to get it right on the first try, but if you don't, you can resubmit 2 more times at a reduced point value. And all that detail is in the syllabus and in the course information. Now, what I will say is this. Even when you're taking the quiz, you can always try Ask Your Teacher. If I don't want to answer that specific question, then I'll politely say, hey, I can't answer that one on the quiz. Give it a try on your own. But if it's something that comes up where I feel like I can give you some direction, then I will do that. So it doesn't hurt for you to ask. I may have to say no, depending on the question you ask when it's a quiz. Finally, we should probably talk about the exams. For the exams, these are where we by now have practiced the content and we're ready to show that we know what we're doing. So on the exams, you only get 2 attempts per question. If you get it right the first time, that's fine. But if you have to do it a second time and you get it right, it's worth half what you would have gotten if you got it right on the first try. So it pays to get it right on that first attempt. But for some reason, if something goes wrong, you do have the second shot at 50% value, even on the exams. So please take advantage of that. But hopefully by the time we get to the exams, you'll have most of the content down and you won't have to make use of that very often. Okay, so that's enough about Ask the Teacher and how we're going to implement the assignments. More of that will come up during the course of the semester, but that's just to give you a little bit of information. I do want to take time to remind you that throughout the course, we have 7 required discussion forums for a total of 70 points. The first one, which is due in week 1, is just an introduction. So that one you just are going to answer a few questions about yourself and introduce yourself to the class. From that point forward, each discussion forum is targeted at a particular topic that we are working on in our lessons. And for most of them, we are going to be working with an online graphing calculator tool to help us visualize the concepts that we're working on. Ultimately, you'll have to take a screenshot of whatever you've worked on and just post it so that the class can see what you've done, so that I can see it, but also so that the other students can see. And then you can reply to at least 2 students, 2 fellow students, to give them feedback. If everything's gone right, that's great, but if they've made a mistake, you can give them feedback so that they can fix those things and earn all their points. So it's a group activity in that you are going to be sharing what you've produced via a screenshot in the forum. And then once we've mastered that skill with the graphing tool, you can use that as you complete your homework problems or your quizzes and exams. So that we're going to learn how to use this thing to help us do the math, essentially. I do want to take a minute to talk about grades. I will be keeping track of your grade in WebAssign, and if you ever want to see your grade, you just have to access the grades from the tab right as you log into WebAssign. All of our assignments are already entered in there, and so that's where our calculations for our grades will be made. The grade book takes care of the 2 dropped scores that we have and the weighting for the points, so everything's taken care of there, and Canvas will not be the place where you look for your grade. You'll be looking here in WebAssign. And to wrap this video up, I just want to put in a quick plug for my virtual office hours. I'll be available Thursdays at 7 p.m., 7 to 8 usually. We'll do that via Google Meet, and then what I'll do is each Thursday I'll send out an email saying, hey, is anybody interested in coming to office hours? If you are, I'll send off the link to that Google Meet. You can always contact me via email or the Google chat that's associated with your email address. And you can see right here I've indicated my email address, alanmu@umich.edu. Here's what I want to tell you right now, though. If you want to earn a bonus point on your syllabus quiz, go to your chat feature and just send me a note right now. And we'll do the old +1 on your syllabus quiz. It'll add an extra point in, and it'll just make sure that I know you know how to access that. You can text me on that chat feature, and I've set up a space there for a group chat for our entire class. So you're automatically added to that anyway. You don't have to send the text to the group chat for your +1. Just send it privately to me. My email there is alanmu@umich.edu. Okay, long video. If you made it to the end, I appreciate your patience, but I think this will give you an idea of how to get started this week. If you have any questions whatsoever, please email or text. You can give me a phone call too. My contact information is in the course content. If you need to get a hold of me, if you have questions, please feel free to contact me so that we can get you off to a good start here in week 1. For now, take care, and I'll talk to you soon.